All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020, and we just finished with week 14 of the NFL. So, of course, it's now time to go to week 15, rather. Sorry. We didn't do so well last week. We went 8-8, one of the worst weeks for us of the year. We still haven't gone under 500 this year, so that's pretty good. We're 134, 73 and 1, 64.7%. Hopefully, we can kind of get above 64% and kind of get back into a good street here. Pretty confident about the picks this week, so let's get started. There is, of course, no bye weeks anymore for the regular season, so I'll probably delete this slide afterwards. So no more bye weeks unless a team is postponed due to like some COVID or something. But yeah, so this week we do have Thursday and Saturday football. So we have the return of Saturday football this week, 2 games. So we'll get to that when we get there. Again, let's see how we do this week. Let's get started right away. We got 16 games to get through, so right away, Thursday night football, my worst week. I'm 4-7. Yeah, I'm not very good at picking Thursday nights this year. The Los Angeles Chargers take on the Las Vegas Raiders. They're 4-9. We're 7-6 in AFC West divisional game. So this should be pretty exciting, at least pretty high scoring, I would say. The Raiders are 3.5-point favorites with an over-under of 53. The Raiders desperately need to win this game to stay alive somewhat in the playoffs with the Baltimore Ravens winning last week versus the Browns. And so the Raiders must win this game to stay alive, and I think they're going to be able to pull it off. I don't know. I know that the Chargers finally won a game again the other day against the Falcons, but it genuinely took playing a team that blows every single game and just can't win football games for the Chargers to finally overcome their own shortcomings at the end of games to win a game. So besides, that was like back and forth, turnover. And I don't know. I feel like the Raiders are better than that. Like if it comes down to that, I feel like the Raiders can win. I don't know. Better coaching. A little bit better team in the Raiders, so I'm going to go with the Raiders 31-24 in a pretty, I don't know, better coaching, a little bit better offense, a little bit better defense, so give me the Raiders. Chargers are just one of those teams that can't win games. They seem to be inept at the ability to win, and I think it has to do with coaching. So anyway, Saturday football as promised at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. The Buffalo Bills head to Denver to take on the Broncos. 10-3 versus 5-8. Bills are 6.5-point favorites with an over-under of 50.5. I don't know. I have the Bills winning this one. I don't really see this as much of a challenge for Buffalo. They seem to be a pretty good little team this year. I was completely wrong about them at the start of the year. Josh is playing great. The Bills are playing great. Their defense seems to be coming along. This could be a bad game for the Broncos to have to run into a team like the Bills. They could kind of score some points on the Bills if they catch them if the Bills are playing a little sloppy after their big game against the Steelers. So maybe watch for that. But other than that, I'd see the Bills winning quite comfortably against the Broncos. Trust them more on a short week as well. Coaching short week, you know, give me the Bills. Another game that's pretty much a mismatch. It might be all right to watch, though, at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. We have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Green Bay Packers, 4-9, 10-3. Packers have, I think, locked up the NFC North, so I wonder... oh, yeah, they're probably still going to be playing because they want to lock up the #1 seed, so we'll still see the Packers playing at pretty full force. They're 8.5-point favorites, 51.5 over/under. I got the Packers winning this, though I do think the Panthers may be able to keep up and score with them due to the fact that, you know, Carolina can run the ball quite well and they can throw the ball pretty well, and that seems to be Green Bay's only defense is these kind of run-based teams. These run-based offenses kind of can do something to the Packers, and it seems like it's not impossible to score on them. So expect the Panthers to keep it close, but I don't know. Packers should win this game. If they lose, that's quite the upset in my opinion, if the Packers lose this game. So give me the Packers 33-24. Again, kind of a mismatch. The Panthers don't have the defense for the Packers. That's the problem. That could be a shootout, though. That could be fun. This was actually a hard game to pick. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Dallas Cowboys. 49ers are 3-point favorites with an over-under of 45.5. 5-8 versus 4-9. The reason I'm going with the 49ers, they didn't allow a touchdown to the Washington football team and still lost due to the fact that Washington's defense is unreal this season. They played unreal in that game. So the 49ers defense didn't allow a touchdown, yet they still lost. So I'm looking at the 49ers like, all right, they're a good defensive team. They have a lot of problems on offense when they play a great defense. This isn't really a shot at the Cowboys. This isn't really trying to be rude or mean to the Cowboys. They've been playing defense like shit this year. So I don't know if the Cowboys defense is going to be able to do to the 49ers offense what the Washington football team did to the 49ers offense. They destroyed them. So if that's not the case, I could see a game where maybe a couple turnovers by the 49ers lead to some Cowboys points. But overall, I don't know if the Cowboys offense is going to be able to do any goddamn thing to the 49ers defense. Like anything. Washington could, like, nobody can. They're a pretty good defense. Their offense is what gives teams points. So like I said, I think Dallas scores a couple times or gets really set up like nicely by what the defense does because of a 49ers turnover. But I do think the 49ers ultimately win this game. They're just a little bit better of a team than the Cowboys right now. Both teams are injury plagued and not playing well. At the end, who cares? Neither of these teams are playoff teams. All right. This is actually a weirdly good game that should be pretty fun to watch if you don't have a game to watch at 1 o'clock this weekend. So we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the first place Washington football team. I know. Hilarious, right? I know. They're fresh off the upset of the Steelers, so they're going to be big. They're going to be feeling themselves. I believe they also just beat the 49ers in like the craziest way where they didn't score any points on offense, which makes me a little worried about what's going to be happening with the football team on offense. Who's going to play quarterback? Is Gibson going to be there? So I have no idea if I can pick them, even against the Seahawks' kind of porous defense. But, you know, this should be an interesting game. I know Seattle's going to have some troubles with this Washington football defense. But I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of mistakes made by that Washington offense that sets Seattle up with short field, where it's a lot easier to score, and that's probably what gives Seattle the win. A lot of mistakes from Washington's offense sets up Seattle short on offense, which allows easier scores, whether it be by field goals and like 2 touchdowns and a crap load of field goals. That could be the outcome of this game. Lots of field goals and like some defensive touchdowns by Washington. That seems like what could happen here. Probably what does. I'm still going to go Seahawks because that's ultimately how this is probably going to break. But Washington will stay in this game because of their defense. If not, they'll get completely eviscerated. Here's my first like upset pick, I guess. I have a couple upset picks this week. I like the Chicago Bears take on the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams 6-7, both kind of randomly still fighting in a playoff spot. The Vikings are 3.5. Well, they're still in the hunt anyway. Vikings are the favorites by 3.5. Over under of 46.5. I kind of like the Bears in this game. I know it's kind of like, oh, the Bears stuck on offense. The last like 3 games, they're averaging like 30 points a game. Their defense has been whatever, you know, they just did what they did to the Texans. And I'm not just like, this is like a 3-game trend. Their offense has been improving. And the last time these two teams played, if Chicago would have had any semblance of offense, they would have beat the Vikings. That was a really weird, terrible game the last time these two teams met up. And it was, you know, it is what it is. Still, the Vikings do struggle against the Bears with Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. I don't care what's going on. That last game was weird because the Bears could not get anything going with Nick Foles on offense. Maybe Mitch is the difference in this one. I'm thinking he's going to be. Right now, I just trust the Bears offense a little bit more. I don't know what's going on with Minnesota's kicking game. I don't know if due to the fact that the kicking was so bad last week, I don't know if Zimmer's going to overcoach in this game and maybe go for it when he should be kicking field goals, maybe try to go for too many times. I could see overcoaching being the reason the Vikings lose this game in sort of a response to the misses by the Dan Bailey last week against the Bucs. So I think that's what causes this game. Plus, the Bears have been playing a lot better on offense. Last 2 times these teams met, it was a pretty good game. It was a bad game, but it was a low-scoring, tight game that Minnesota pulled ahead in due to the fact that the Bears didn't have anything to offer on offense. But that seems to be kind of changing, trending in the right direction for Chicago. So give me the Bears in a close one, 24-20. Here's my other upset pick that nobody's going to agree with me on, but listen to what I tell you. Bill Belichick, 21-6. The Patriots take on the Dolphins, 6-7 versus 8-5. Dolphins sort of need to win this game to keep ahead of the Ravens now. Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites with an over-under of 41.5. In this game, I would look for the fact that they might be without their 2 starting receivers, Parker, and I forgot the other guy's name. Gesicki might be out. Who knows what's going on with Myles Gaskins with the COVID situation. So you're going to have Tua with backup players all around him. Bill Belichick going against him, who's 21-6. Patriots already beat this team 23-11. They understand how to face a Flores-led team. We'll see how this game plays out. For those reasons I just said, the injuries, understanding the coaching of Miami, and sort of understanding the schemes and philosophies of that team, I'm going to take the Patriots in a pretty big upset, 20-17. This is my upset pick of the week. This is my grand upset of the week. I don't have to explain it much further. I gave you the reasons why it's going to happen. 21-6 versus rookie quarterbacks. Justin Herbert looked like poo-poo against Mr. Belichick, and he's looked pretty good against everybody else. So give me the Pats. 2017. Probably walk-off field goal. Not much to say here, actually. The Jacksonville Jaguars is going to go play the Ravens. I'm pretty sure Gardner's back. 1-12 versus 8-5. The Ravens are huge favorites at 14 points, over under a 46.5. The only question is, do you think the Ravens cover that 14? I don't know. I think so. So give me the Ravens 35-16. They seem to have woken back up. Oh, Atlanta. I had a whole different name for them in there, but it was very inappropriate, and I would have gotten demonetized. This fucking man. I did not follow my cardinal rule last week. My initial score was the Atlanta somethings 0, the fucking Buccaneers 56. I had the fucking Bucks destroying this team. I'm talking like, oh no, Julio Jones might not play. Goodbye, Atlanta. I don't even know how the Bucks are just 6-point favorites. This is gonna be a blowout, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Atlanta will be relevant in this game. You don't have to pick them. You shouldn't. You should never pick Atlanta until they blow it up, get rid of that loser coach, get rid of all these loser pieces that are scattered throughout this fucking team that just caused choking. They literally could have won the game, and they just threw interceptions at the end of it. Just whatever. We know Rob picked us. Fuck it. We could beat this loser Chargers team that's the same as us. Rookie quarterback and bad coaching. No, we're the Falcons. That's their new name. They're no longer the Falcons. They're the Falcons until they get rid of everything. I'm very angry because I went against my cardinal rule and I got one wrong. I should have been 9-7 on my pick'em, but you know, I had to give Atlanta a break. I did the right thing for once. Give me the Bucks in a blowout. This one's, you know, there's not even, they don't even have an over/under in this game, and I'm surprised they even put it on the board because I don't think Stafford's playing, and it's just like, well, if Stafford's not playing, do we really think Chase Daniel's gonna beat the Titans? Give me. I mean, I love the Lions. Don't get me wrong. They're my second favorite team to root for. But give me the Titans all day in this one. Henry, Brown, Davis, Tannehill, their defense. Anyway, give me the Titans. Lions, if they had Stafford, maybe could. Because that's the kind of game the Titans do lose usually. Not this year. Houston Texans take on the Indianapolis Colts. If the Texans don't have receivers back, they're not winning this game. I didn't know that before the Bears game. They lost like all their receivers and they got nothing left. So it's literally just Deshaun Watson. Colts are 7-point favorites, over under a 52.5. If that's the same thing, give me the Colts all day. Like we can revisit that pick later, but right now it sounds like the Texans don't have anyone really for him to throw to except that QT guy, and that's it. And if that's the case, they're not beating the Colts, dude. Give me the Colts 28-24. Somehow they keep it close. Here's my last upset pick of the week. A lot of people might think this is a lot of window bias-y shopping. I think that would be if you think the Cardinals are back to being what they were. I think you're being a little bit overreactive to the team they just played on offense. Like, their defense looked good against the banged-up Giants offense that hasn't been good this year. For the most part, they've been running on their defense, the Giants. I think the Eagles will actually win this game. Cardinals are 6.5 point favorites, over under a 48.5. It's in Arizona. The reason I like the Cardinals to win this game is because the emergence of Jalen Hurts actually took a team like the Saints, who are 10-2 and had one of the better defenses in the NFL, completely by surprise. I think that was the first time they've ever had two different people ran for 100 yards, I think, on the Saints for the first time in like 50 games. It's been like 3 seasons since they gave up those kind of numbers running the ball. It's been a long time since somebody ran the ball the way the Eagles just did. Jalen Hurts adds a different fold to this Eagles offense that makes it very hard to game plan for, and it took a team as good as the Saints even by surprise, and it took them the whole game to it took them till half to kind of recalibrate calibrate and get it together. And kind of, you know, their smart defensive minds, it took a lot to get that stop down and slowed down. Now, when you go look at the Arizona Cardinals, you're like, all right, there's a little tape they can watch. Are they going to be as prepared as, say, the Saints were? Are they going to be able to adjust as good as the Saints were able to when you actually have to play it? There's not a lot of tape. Not a lot of I mean, the Eagles can run like hell now, apparently. They just ran all over the Saints somehow. And I think that's going to make major dividends. I don't think the Cardinals, I think they'll, you know, and the Eagles defense is completely underrated in terms of their defensive line. They play very good, and that could frustrate the hell out of Kyler. I got the Eagles in an upset, so I think not understanding how Jalen Hurts quite works yet in this league, and I think the Eagles' underrated defense, kind of under the radar, kind of catches the Cardinals by surprise, and give me the Eagles. Like, they kind of got the Saints. Plus, the Eagles are weird late season. Mismatch. Jets take on the Rams. Give me the Rams. That's a huge line, by the way. The Rams are 17 points. There's some huge lines this week. 43.5. Do the Rams cover? That's the real question. Should be a good game. Actually, I don't think it will be. If Drew Brees doesn't play in this game, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Chiefs are 12-1. Saints are 10-3. Chiefs are 3.5 point favorites. Over under a 51. Yeah, I mean, as good as this game could have been, if Drew Brees doesn't play, there is no way Taysom Hill and company are going to be able to keep up with the Chiefs. If it breaks down into a track meet and it's just a shootout, Chiefs are going to win. If it's Taysom Hill and the game is super close and low scoring, Chiefs are going to win. I like Mahomes more. You have to just kind of look at it like that. This has an asterisk on it, meaning I will revisit it if Drew Brees is playing in this game, or if they announce Jameis Winston as the starter. Let's go on to the night clock, the PM game. Well, if the Giants weren't completely banged up on defense, it's Browns versus Giants. It's in New York. Browns are 4.5 point favorites, over under a 45. I like what the Giants could potentially do to the Browns on defense, which it could make it a close game and probably will keep it close. But the Browns might be able to kind of choke this team out with their front seven. And with Daniel Jones still kind of playing with an injury, which he shouldn't be playing, probably should let Colt McCoy start. Either way, I don't think it makes much of a difference. The Giants' offense is still kind of developing. Offensive line still has some issues. The running game isn't complete yet without Barkley back. The receiving core is a little meh at times. So, you know, right now this seems to be a mismatch. The Browns were able to do what they did on offense to a pretty good Ravens defense this year. So I don't know, man. If the Giants were a little healthier, you could maybe see the Giants in an upset. But with the Giants' health right now, you know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, Arizona's defense went from playing like garbage to looking godly. So that's how bad the Giants' offense is right now. Very banged up. So give me the Browns in a game that should be still pretty good, though. This could be a fun defensive game. Monday Night Football, let's go. Well, the Steelers' reward for losing 2 in a row is now they get to go beat the shit out of Cincinnati. Steelers are 12 in another huge line. That's probably going to be 13-14 by the time the game starts. The Steelers are 12.5 point favorites with an over-under of 40.5. I got the Steelers killing them like they usually do. The front-running Steelers, here they come. Back to 12-2, baby. Let's go. Steelers back in it. All right. Those are my picks for the week. Again, we're 134, 73-1. Not one week we've gone under 500, so that's pretty credible, I guess. Having a pretty solid week, 64.7%. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the picks video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Those two things kind of help grow the channel. Leave your picks down below. Leave your thoughts down below. I'm very quick to get back to everything, or at least I try to be. But yeah, thank you guys for all the subscribes this year. We're getting close to, we just hit over 5,500, so we'll probably be around 5,700, 5,800 by the end of the year. We hit well over the goal of 4,000 or something I said at the beginning of the year, so thank you very much. It's been a fun NFL season. It sucks that it's coming to an end. We still have a few weeks left, and then the playoffs, and you know, then we have the fun off season of who knows what's going to happen, but oh well. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have a good rest of the day. We have one more picks video to make before Christmas, so this isn't the Christmas edition yet. That's next week. But yeah, so I'll see you guys. When I see you. Good luck to you on your picks this week. Go Patriots. Go Lions. And of course, you know, see you.